Disclaimer. I doesn't claim any of the arts. All the picture shown belongs to the respective artist and company. If you are original owner and want me to remove the video, I will do it immediately. Just send me an email to inform me. And if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Chapter begins right after Igmun, the vampire lord, appears as he asks Kim while he shapes through the chunks of flesh, "Are you the one who killed my contractor?" As Kim sees him and hears his voice, a sense of fear engulfs him, and Kim thinks to himself in that moment, "Contractor? Who might that be? At the very least, it's not Liu Ping. This aura, magic. No way. An Archduke of the Abyss?" As Igmun's form gets completed, he says with deadly intent, "Well then, let's see. Shall we test your skill first?" With that, Igmun activates his skill, the blood form, and summons numerous blood swords in the sky, all pointed at Kim. At the last moment, Kim sees the blood swords hanging from the sky. All of them. Igmun drops on Kim, but at the last moment, Kim manages to barely dodge them. Seeing this, Kim thinks to himself, "What the hell? This size? Is this the blood sword that Liu Ping used? The size and power are totally different, no doubt. This power is definitely from an Archduke of the Abyss like Rosaria, a being I can't even approach in my current state. Why did he suddenly appear? No, that's not what's important right now. To survive, I need to use everything I've got." As Kim dodges the blood swords, Igmun's attacks don't stop. He attacks Kim with a giant blood sword. Kim tries to defend himself by fusing his dagger with predation and making some kind of predation shield to stop it. As Kim endures his position against that attack, Igmun gets closer to him. Kim sees this as an opportunity and tries his best to land a blow on Igmun. With that, he activates his King Knight Spirit skill and fuses it with his predation. As Kim destroys the blood swords, he activates domination of 5 senses and rushes towards Igmun to strike him with full power. As Igmun sees Kim's moves and efforts to land an attack, he finds it amusing. And as Kim goes for his attack, he thinks to himself, "Every summoned being is inevitably affected by the contractor's power. If the contractor is stronger than the summoned beast, the beast can gain even greater power through the contractor. Conversely, if the summoned beast's power greatly exceeds the contractor's body may not withstand it and could collapse from magic backlash. The summoning could be forcibly cancelled. If my guess is correct, that beast's contractor, Liu Ping, is already dead. Right now, it's only being forcibly summoned through a corpse. So there should be a time limit to how long it can remain summoned. If I can just hold out until then, I can survive." As Kim reaches Igmun with his King Knight Spirit skill prepared and his fist fused with predation, he strikes at Igmun with full power. However, Igmun uses his blood power to create a shield and defends himself against it. As Kim pushes harder to get past Igmun's defense, he says to Kim with a mocking tone, "You're certainly nothing compared to my living contractor. However, trying to survive against me is quite ambitious." With that, he opens the palm of his hand and shows a tiny blood tornado forming. Seeing this shocks and scares Kim. He notices it is a powerful and massive attack. As Igmun makes his move and releases his attack, that tiny tornado turns into multiple huge, powerful ones. Kim couldn't escape from it and gets stuck in the middle of Igmun's tornado attack. Seeing this, Igmun sighs and says, "No matter how powerful one is, it's hard to fix not knowing one's place. I'll kill you by bursting you apart like this." But suddenly, Igmun's speech is interrupted by something happening inside that tornado. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Igmun's tornado turns into a flower tower. Igmun has no control over it and is surprised by what is happening. He doesn't know what is going on right now and says, "Flower petals. I see, so this is Rosaria's doing." By seeing those flower petals, Igmun understands that Rosaria helped Kim survive that attack. Rosaria pushes the flower petals aside while holding Kim with her tentacles and laughs. "My contractor always calls me into amusing situations." In the next scene, we see as flower petals spread, Rosaria holds Kim while floating in front of Igmun. As Igmun's tornadoes are still active, he says, "I can understand why you're here now. I didn't think my contractor could lose to an ordinary human, but to think he's your contractor, Iron Horse Rosaria, good. Hand over that human and leave, otherwise I'll drag you into this place too." Hearing Igmun's words, Rosaria sighs and says, "Getting all worked up over your contractor's death. Even after 7 years, your petty personality hasn't changed. You know well how bold I can be, don't you? No way. Then Kim asks Rosaria in a stressed voice, "Rosaria, who is that guy?" Hearing Kim's words, Rosaria responds, "Vampire Lord Masoon, like the Scarlet Lady, he holds the position of Archduke, and currently, he is your enemy." Thank you for watching my video so far. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Upon hearing that Igmun is an Archduke like Rosaria causes Kim's eyes to widen in shock. He doesn't know how he's going to fight against him. He barely defeated Kaishelin. He must find a way to defeat him. In the next scene, we see Igmun preparing himself for battle. He summons several red portals and uses them to pull out huge red swords pointed at Kim and Rosaria. With that, Igmun says in a serious and wrathful tone, "I'll kill you just like that, Rosaria!" Seeing this, Rosaria prepares herself for battle and points her tentacles at him, saying, "Ha! Look who's talking!" With that, they both start fighting. Igmun launches his swords at her while Rosaria attacks with her tentacles. The collision of their weapons creates a huge wave. As Rosaria fights with Igmun, we see Kim watching it anxiously. Once again, blue mana veins appear on Kim's hands and face, indicating that he is experiencing a mana backlash. Kim notices this and thinks to himself, "Damn it! Another magic backlash. Have I already reached my limit after the battles with Liu Ping and Igmun? Far from being able to help Rosaria, just maintaining the summoning feels like my body will shatter. At this rate, I cannot hold this summon any longer." Suddenly, Rosaria interrupts Kim, saying, "Don't fall just yet. The power I can release depends on my contractor. My contractor may have grown stronger, but the opponent is an Archduke. Even I must give my all or I can't hold him back. So bear with it just this once. The reason you've lived so desperately until now wasn't to die here, was it? And watch carefully. This is the true power of an Archduke and the power you'll have to surpass someday." Hearing Rosaria's words makes Kim understand that he must endure it to give Rosaria enough power and time to battle against Igmun. He gathers himself and we see Rosaria raise her hand while preparing a huge pink ball of energy shaped like a flower ready to attack Igmun with it. As Igmun stands in his spot with his body turning pink, indicating that he is reaching his limit, he sees Rosaria's move and laughs, saying, "It seems the time allotted to me ends here. Fine, Rosaria, let's end today's entertainment here. If you survive, let's meet again." Then Igmun prepares his unique move for the final attack, summoning 2 armored hands holding a giant red spear through 2 red portals. In a split second, both of them launch their attacks at each other with massive force. When both attacks collide, the impact creates a huge energy wave, accompanied by a blinding explosion of light engulfing the entire area. Seeing that Rosaria and Igmun are attacking with their final moves causes him to take a defensive stance as he tries to shield his eyes from the blinding light. In that moment, mana backlash reaches its limit. As that light covers everything around him, Kim loses consciousness and everything goes black. A notification appears showing that mana has reached 0%, fatigue has reached 100%, health has dropped below 10%. While Kim is drowning in his inner world within its darkness, he thinks to himself, how many times has this happened? S-class, national power level. Archduke. Every time I think I've gotten stronger, a new powerhouse appears. How many times must I go through this before I... But suddenly, out of nowhere, a voice interrupts Kim's thoughts, saying, "Pathetic fool! What are you doing with the power of a king?" As Kim opens his eyes, he sees someone just like himself, but in dark red colors standing behind multiple predation monsters. Shocked by this sight, he doesn't know what is going on as that person continues saying, "National power level? Archduke? Ridiculous! If you're not going to do it properly, that body, I'll take it for myself." With that, Kim's nightmare ends as he awakens, gasping in fear. Without paying attention or looking around, he looks at his hand shaking in fear. Unsure of what exactly he has witnessed, he thinks it was another dream while considering, "But what's going on? That voice was definitely the same as the one from my previous dream. And this time he even looked like me. What's the connection with the king?" While sweating profusely, something catches his attention. Looking towards him, realizes that all this time Park Sung-jin, Kwak Seong, Seo Hangul, and Yo Ah-young were by his bed watching him regain consciousness in surprise. Seeing him awake now, all of them get happy as everyone hugs Kim. Afterward, Kim explains, "According to you, a young, the barrier vanished with a sudden flash inside it, were signs of an intense battle and me unconscious. Fortunately, Liu Ping's assassination attempt on President Haley Tan failed, thanks to Korean players including Lightsword and Hyun-soo. Zhang Long, association president suspected of giving Liu Ping orders, won't be able to avoid an investigation by World Player Association." In the next scene, we see that Kim's treatment is finally complete as he leaves the hospital thinking to himself, "Anyway, with an archduke and now an unknown doppelganger, the closer I get to learning about the king and devouring, the more unknown things keep piling up. The only relief is that my rank is gradually increasing." With that, Kim opens his status window, absorbs it, seeing now he has rank A with stone skin and predation skill at A rank. He notices a new skill now there too, that named Blood Frenzy with an unknown rank, whose unlock condition is consumption of powerful blood. Wondering what that skill is and what it can do, this chapter ends. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Support this channel by liking this video and subscribing the channel. And if you want me to recap another manhwa or manga, write its name in the comments section. And if you want to know that what happened in previous chapters, you can watch them in this channel. Stay tuned for next chapters.